Picture this. You're strolling through a museum, appreciating all the paintings and artifacts, when you suddenly halt in your tracks as something catches your eye. You stare at an artifact for a long moment. You stare some more and wonder, it cannot be. Is that a laptop I'm seeing? On a vase painting from 500 BC? It's bizarre to behold indeed. But the internet is abuzz, spotting all these works of art from centuries and even millennia ago, featuring objects from the modern world. So, did the creators of these artworks time travel or what? Or if not, what could be the possible explanation for these unspecified objects to have been added in with these ancient artifacts and old paintings? Here's the history. We're glad you can join us for some fun trivia and fascinating facts about unforgettable moments in time. Today, we're inspecting the occurrences of present day objects and prehistoric pieces of art. And while you're at it, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can watch more entertaining history tidbits. Have you ever wondered if ancient civilizations ever had visions of what our modern world would look like someday? It's a fascinating idea, and one that has sparked debate among historians and enthusiasts alike. Today, many people will say that ancient civilizations did think about the future, because how else can these strange sightings of mobile phones and old artifacts and paintings be explained? Like in this 1937 mural, Mr. Pinchon and the Settling of Springfield by Umberto Romano. The Italian-born American muralist aimed to depict Mr. William Pynchon, an English fur trader, upon his founding of what is now the present-day town of Springfield in Massachusetts. This mural looks nothing out of the ordinary, like all other similarly themed paintings. But what really catches the eye of any internet sleuth is this Native American man holding up what looks to be a mobile phone. And if you look closely, it's clear his eyes are gazing directly at the object he's holding in his hand, just like you would when scrolling through your phone. Another painting that dates back even further also has a subject holding on to what looks to be a cell phone. This is The Expected One by Ferdinand Georg Waldmüller, painted in 1860. The woman in the painting is about to be surprised by a young admirer hiding nearby, but it's not him who we are most intrigued by. Rather, it's the object in the woman's hands, holding what looks to be a mobile phone earnestly. Although art experts have already debunked this object to be a prayer book, which makes a lot of sense for a subject depicted in the 1860s, it can't be helped that the young woman does look like someone who just received a funny gif from a friend on Messenger. And speaking of Messenger, here's another curious painting that's even more antiquated than the last two. This is Man Handing a Letter to a Woman in the Entrance Hall by Dutch painter Pieter de Hoogh, completed in 1670. It features a messenger delivering a letter for a woman with the scenic Amsterdam Canal in the background. What really makes the painting stand out is the letter itself, because it looks nothing like the normal letters that would have been delivered back in those days. Rather, it has the semblance and features of what could be an iPhone, which was how this all started. But cell phones aren't the only modern inventions we've come across in old pieces of art. There are more curious objects, like this wristwatch being worn by this winged supernatural creature from prehistoric times. This bizarre artifact is from an Assyrian relief panel, dated to be around 883 to 859 BC. It was spotted at the Northwest Palace at Nimrud, near Mosul in what we now know today as northern Iraq. The half-bird, half-man figure seems to be donning two watches on both wrists, which sounds far out for sure. But art scholars have maintained that what it is wearing is actually a large central rosette, a symbol associated with divinity, most likely with Ishtar, the Mesopotamian goddess of love and sexuality. From the west bank of the Nile River lies the town of Dendera, wherein you can find the majestic temple of Hathor, a major Egyptian goddess attributed with love, beauty, and many other things. In her temple lies the stupefying relief aptly nicknamed the Dendera Light. It depicts Egyptian figures standing underneath what looks to be large light bulbs, like very, very large light bulbs. In fact, the Swiss author Erich von Daniken, who wrote the best selling book Chariot of the Gods about extraterrestrial influences in ancient civilizations, tested out the Dendera light. However, von Daniken has been heavily criticized and debunked by archaeologists and experts alike, dubbing his work as pseudoscience and pseudohistory. Isn't the baffling connection of ancient art and modern inventions riveting? Thanks for watching, and if you haven't yet, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. So Here's to History can bring you more of the good stuff. We've already shown you the strange appearances of our regular present day things found in paintings and artifacts, some of which go way back in time. But it's about to get even stranger as we move on to our next mysterious object occurring in old artworks. And that is a UFO. The clearest one we could find is from this mural inside the church of the Dominican monastery in the medieval citadel in Romania. This piece of the waltz painting shows a mysterious flying disc spouting smoke as it hovers over a large building. While UFO believers understand this to mean that medieval Romanians may have witnessed alien visits back in their time, local experts, however, assert that the painting is a representation of the prophet Elijah ascending into heaven in a flying disc form. Okay, another piece of art that has intrigued is the Baptism of Christ painted by Art de Helder in 1710. The Dutch artist somberly depicts the baptism of Jesus in the River Jordan by his cousin John the Baptist, one of Christianity's most defining moments. But what really grabs your attention on this painting is this: an eerie semblance of a flying saucer up high, sending down light beams onto Jesus and John. Most art scholars deduce that whatever De Helder had intended for that object, it was merely just a symbolic representation of the divine beaming light upon the Messiah, with the light representing the Holy Spirit. The same explanation goes for this 15th century painting by Domenico Ghirlandaio titled The Madonna with Saint Giovannino. While not as imposing as the other UFO looking objects in the previous two paintings, you still can't miss the bizarre flying disk in the background behind the Blessed Mother's head. Is this celestial object from an extraterrestrial world? Or is it also just a symbolic representation of angels? Could we ever explain the reasoning behind these seemingly anachronistic depictions? The more grounded scholars and historians surmise that these objects are merely just artistic embellishments that have been misinterpreted by people today who are feeding into their own hunger for conspiracy theories. There are still lots of believers out there who are convinced that these pieces of art substantiate the evidence of time travel or alien visitations. For now, it seems that the hard truth will remain elusive. As we continue to explore these baffling mysteries, who knows what we may uncover along the way. Thanks for watching this fun discussion on all the mysterious artifacts and paintings that seem to predict contraptions of today. So, here's to history. We'd love to hear from you, so drop us a line in the comments. And we're excited to bring to you the next captivating history topic. So hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to be in the know. See you next time.